What is going on, guys? MG2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the full mechanics 1/100th scale Gundam Aerial from Gundam The Wish from Mercury. Developed by the Shinsei Development Corporation, it displayed completely unparalleled performance in the Articulation School of Technology duels thanks to the gun format and its 11 gun bits. The full Mechanics Gundam Aerial is made up of, funnily enough, 11 runners and a large decal sheet, and judging from the build alone, I'm actually kinda surprised of how intuitive the engineering is. Most of the white armor pieces and the chrome red permacrystals are undergated, and if not, the gates are mostly placed on the pegs, so there is not much worry in ruining the kit during cleanup. The build itself is also relatively simple to go through, and despite the larger size, it lacks the complexity of a master grade, making it fairly friendly to beginners of the 1/100th scale kits. Overall, it was a fairly refreshing and relaxing build that is distinct from its high-grade counterpart. Aesthetically, the full Mechanics Gundam Aerial serves as a spectacular representation of the mobile suit, and completely trumps the high grade in terms of its looks alone. The proportions, while mostly similar to her smaller self, has been updated to have larger shoulders for a better silhouette balance, wider hips that make it look more feminine, and the eye sections that let the big defining eyes stare through completely. Part separation is also fantastically done since there is not a single missing color wrap despite the lack of stickers, while the larger size allows for more surface detail to be implemented, just the right amount to look mechanical while not disrupting the smooth feminine aesthetics. But eyes are going to be drawn to the permacrystals inside the shell units, molded in a chrome red to allow them to literally shine through more organically, while the intricate texturing adds depth to their visuals. Aesthetically, I would argue that despite the size benefits, the full Mechanics Gundam Aerial is a step up compared to the high grade, and indiscernible from the average master grade. Panel lining and decal application are both arguably optional, since the straight build results are enough to satisfy by their own merit. Articulation starts with a ball and hinge neck joint that clears the collar and allows for very good movement. The shoulders are on a double upward swivel, as well as a forward and back swivel, and a peg rotation. The shoulder armor itself and its outer panels can move, allowing for the arm to raise perpendicularly. There is a bicep swivel and a forearm swivel that can provide an extra joint for the elbow bend, while the wrists and thumbs are ball jointed. There is a hinged ball joint in the torso, allowing for it to be tucked up for some wide ab crunches, alongside the tilting at the abs, while the waist can rotate all the way. The front and side skirts can move, and the legs can drop down in the middle, so the full splits can be performed towards every direction. There's a thigh swivel, triple jointed knees that feature moving front and back venting pieces, ball jointed ankle armor, and a hinged, pegged ankle with a dedicated tilt and a segmented toe. Finally, the beam sabers can tip front to back. Altogether, the articulation of the full Mechanics Aerial is great, with notable changes that make it better than the high grade. The structural rigidity is good too, but be aware of the torso joints as it is relatively looser compared to the rest. For accessories, you get a set of finger parts for closed fists and holding hands, as well as right side trigger fingers and left side widespread fingers. As for weapons, it's just a generic Gundam loadout. The beam sabers on the backpack can tip forward and be held on semi-securely in the hands with the blue SP8 beams, with their lightweight allowing them to get away with not having a proper locking or fixation mechanism. Same cannot be said for the rifle though, which is just an enlarged version of the high-grade weapon with some extra details like the venting on the thrusters. It slides onto the trigger fingers with no proper locking mechanism, but instead relies on the thumb to fix it in place, which it can get away with when being used as standard, except for when you give the kit a little jolt. There is also an awesome beam blade effect part included, which just slides into the barrel, with a breathtaking effect of gushing energy at the base that tapers into a proper sword blade from the middle onwards. However, equipping it throws the whole rifle off balance and makes it easier to pry the hand open and fall out of position. The rifle can also be stored on the backpack with the use of an external adapter. However, it can be knocked off from storage relatively easily, which is a bit disappointing. Then there's the escutcheon, which looks absolutely fantastic with its full color separation on the top and bottom and healthy amounts of surface detail. as well as featuring a bit of a curvature to the overall shape instead of being a flat board like the high grade. It can be pegged onto the hardpoints on the forearms for use, featuring extendable side pieces that act as pincers as part of the kit's original gimmick, and the forearm rotation can be used to adjust its orientation. However, I find that the peg is intolerant to rotation, as doing so would easily dislodge it from the arm. And just like the high grade, the shield can be separated into the 11-bit staves by removing them from their central block. And they can be displayed separately from the kit using the G-Witch display bases, using the provided grey adapters for the grey pieces, the flat peg adapter for the top piece, the large flat hole adapter for the vent pieces, the standard peg for the long pieces, and the pipe shape adapter for the rest. The bits can also be stored on the shoulders, forearms, hips, and back skirts to create the bit-on form of the Aerial and give the mobile suit a little boost in armor and maneuverability. And while the back skirt bits turn into a flapping tail thanks to the joints of the flip-out peg, the side pieces can not only be easily dislodged from rotation, but also get in the way of the stored rifle because of their protrusion from the back skirt instead of being flush against the butt like the high grade. Lastly, the grey bits can be combined with the beam rifle to form the long-barreled beam rifle for enhancing its firepower and accuracy, while thankfully not adding much to its weight issues. Finally, a panel in the crotch can be removed for plugging in either a 3mm peg or the included action-based adapter for aerial displays. Sadly, an action-based 1, 4, or 5 is not included, and the included adapter works absolutely terribly after a few poses with it. The full Mechanics 1/100th Gundam Aerial would make for the perfect representation of the design on paper. I mean, the aesthetics are absolutely gorgeous with not much work needed to make it pop. The articulation is extraordinary and the feature set is diverse for a generic Gundam loadout. Yet it's precisely those features that hold the kit back. The lack of a solid fixation mechanism for holding the weapons is an issue, but a minor one compared to the escutcheon and the adapters. Anytime a large, long, or heavy piece that uses a circular peg is bound to fall off at the slightest of movement, and the same thing can go for the rifle storage adapter and the action-based adapter, turning what should have been a step up from the high-grade, simple, pick-up-and-play experience into more of a frustrating task. Granted, it does look miles better compared to its smaller counterpart, but unfortunately, with the full Mechanics Raider Gundam before it setting the bar high for the grade, I can't help but feel like the full Mechanics Gundam Aerial falls short of it besides its appearance and flexibility. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.